For perfect business English, you need bags. They help you to keep a conversation going, to make business start well. The first letter in bags is B. B, what does it mean? Be friendly. Not just be nice, but be interested in the person you are speaking to. Be inquisitive, ask questions, and be the first one to ask questions. The next letter is A. What does A stand for? Agree. Find common ground with the person you are speaking to. Don't disagree, that will kill a conversation immediately, and keep talking. G stands for give. Give something about yourself, contribute to the conversation. Give more information than the minimum, so that you sound interested, and give ground, tell a joke about yourself or your country. And the last letter, S, does it stand for serious? No, smile. That's a little bit better, but it can be stronger than that. Don't worry about making mistakes, smile. Don't rush. Keep up the welcome, the smile that you had at the start. So, be friendly. Agree. Give something to the conversation. And smile. Don't worry. You can see lots of examples of Business English Small Talk on our blog. But here let's have a look at some classic subjects. The trip, travel, hotel, food, sightseeing. How was your flight? What could be a good answer to that? It was very early, but no problems. Is this your first time here? Yes, it looks like a really vibrant city. Have you tried the local food? No, not yet. What do you recommend? Will you have time for any sightseeing? Yes, I'm going to walk around today and visit the cathedral. Next subject, sport. Almost everyone can talk about football if they like it or not. Hobbies, country. Do you think England will win the World Cup? What's the answer? Of course. No. Definitely not. I think Brazil will win. What about you? What sport is popular in England apart from football? Of course you can change the names of these countries to Spain, Germany, Italy, wherever. Do you do any sport in your free time? I swim or I run about 3 times a week just to keep fit. And you? Ask a question. Do you play tennis? Do you play golf? Do you play basketball? Not really, but I'd like to. I never find the time though. Do you play? Keep asking a follow-up question. And the British love to talk about the weather. You can talk about the weather in the time of year or in another country. How was the weather in London when you left? Answer? Not too bad, maybe 1 or 2 degrees colder, that's all. It's quite warm or it's quite cold for this time of year, isn't it? Yes, it's fantastic. Or, yes, it's terrible. Is it true that it rains almost every day in London? No, that's what everyone thinks, but it's not that bad. How cold does it get here in winter? How hot does it get here in summer? It can get very cold, or summer. The hottest is about 30 to 32 degrees C. And finally, you can ask questions about the country. How does the government support small businesses? Is unemployment a big problem here? Is your economy beginning to recover from the crisis? alcohol's a big problem here. Is it the same in your city? What could be some good answers? These are perhaps more difficult questions, so just pause the video for a moment and try to think of a good answer. Now, there are no right or wrong answers, but maybe these are appropriate. There are small tax breaks, but the government could do more. Is unemployment a big problem? It's not as bad as it used to be. How about in the UK? Are you recovering? There are some small signs of recovery. What about here? Alcohol, yes, it's a problem, but I think it's the same everywhere. So let's have a big example where we keep the conversation. We're going to return every question with another question. We're going to have a two-way conversation. And don't forget those bags. So let's have a Spanish person, for example, speaking to an English person about sport. Do you think England could win the World Cup? Well, you never know, but the players are not dedicated. What about Spain? Do you think they could win again? Maybe, but it will be difficult to beat Brazil in their own country. What about the Champions League? Well, English teams have been successful, but I don't think that they are strong enough now. But everyone knows that the Spanish are great at football, but what is the next most popular sport? It's probably basketball. People also like tennis because of Nadal and Formula 1 because of Alonso. Ah yes, Formula 1's quite big in the UK and tennis is much more popular now because of Andy Murray winning Wimbledon. Ah yes, right. What was it? Something like 80 years since the last British winner? Yeah. Maybe even a bit longer, but the Brits are like that. They only like a sport when they win something, like in the Olympics or with the Tour de France with Wiggins. Yes, I know, the Spanish are the same. Before Alonso, nobody was interested in Formula 1. Oh really? So that's a quite long conversation. Let's have a look at what's actually happening here. Be inquisitive. Be the first to ask a question. The answer comes back with another question. Be inquisitive. Do you think they could win again? Maybe. Perhaps this Spanish person doesn't actually agree, but they show that they agree. Maybe, but. Don't disagree. No, they definitely won't. Well, English teams have been successful. What's the next most popular sport? Be interested in the other person or in their country. Be inquisitive. Ask questions. It's probably basketball. People like tennis. People like Formula 1. Why? Give some more information. And the English person responds. They give more information about tennis, Andy Murray, Wimbledon. Ah, yes. Agreeing. Keeping the conversation going. And another question. Being interested, being inquisitive. Now here, the British, he's talking down about the British. He's making a not very funny joke, but it's a joke about the British. Give something to the conversation. The Spanish are the same. He's agreeing. He's giving more information. Nobody was interested before Alonso. And finally, oh really? It's an invitation to keep talking, and it's kind of another question. So, if you want success at small talk, you can learn Business English in London. We have group courses, intensive courses, one-to-one with a private teacher, or the very special executive business English course. SGI, the language specialists.